Welcome, teacher, to my presentation about the types of the syllabus. The members of the group are Benitez Diana, Lechon Jonathan, and my person, Guerra Veronica. Throughout this presentation, we will explore the concept, characteristics, and application of the different approaches in teaching, as well as their benefits in teaching learning process. Today, we will discuss about this topic. We will start by addressing to the concept of curriculum, which will allow us to establish a clear distinction with respect to the syllabus and focus it. The curriculum is the educational plan that guides the development of young people in their social integration. It says that expects learning outcomes, the strategy to achieve them, and evaluates the fulfillment of the objective and well-founded ensure quality education with the resources necessary for its continuity. Its functions are to guide teachers and evaluate the educational system. The syllabus is a planning tool for teachers and students. It is a part of the general curriculum and defines the teaching units and methods to be used, reflecting ideas uh, about the language and learning processes. The syllabus establishes clear objectives that guide learning, selects and sequences content to facilitate progressive development, defines appropriate the methodologies and resources and outlines assessment and feedback methods and improve student learning. Now, I'm going to talk about the concept, importance, and teaching of the syllabus based on authors. Regarding the types of syllabus and their teaching, Noonan, 1988, proposes a stat-centered syllabus and allows students to use language and functional way. For example, through activities like obtain information over the phone. Okay, Mao, 2010 highlights that the syllabus sets clear roles and responsibilities for both teachers and students, fostering and creating a favorable learning environment functioning almost as an educational construct. Braves 2001 suggests a broader, comprehensive approach that includes needs analysis, objective settings, and developments of material and assessment, ensuring that the syllabus is flexible and effective in supporting the teaching learning process. Now, I'm going to talk about the structural syllabus. The structural syllabus organize language learning according to complexity, grammatical structures, following a progressive sequence. Okay, progressive is all. This traditional approach, which has been the basis for methods like audiolingual and grammatical translation, prioritize pattern memorization and also influences modern methods such as Asher's total physical response (TPR) and Gatengon's the silent weight, which language structures in a gradual, organized manner. The structural curriculum approach focuses on students acquire specific knowledge and skill without imposing a specific method. Is achieved through a synthetic approach that teaches part of the language, progressive and separately, accumulating knowledge until full understanding and achievement. This method benefits English teaching by focuses on grammar, facilitating definition, evaluation, and fostering precision and self-correction in students. Okay. Additionally, grammatical structures can be taught without addressing cultural values, which can be advantages and certain educational contexts. We have three examples. Following a structural approach from less to more complex. Let's look at one. Okay. For example, with future with going to future went to focuses on it in progressive, progressively basic level. I'm going to visit my grandmother this weekend. Basic of use going to express a simple future plan. intermediate level. She's going to study engineering at the university next year. Just going to talk about a long-term decision or intention. Advanced level, they are going to start the project next month, and each team member will have specific responsibilities. Responsibility. A use of going to is a more complex sentence with multiple actions planning for the future. Now, the situational syllabus. I must clarify that in situational syllabus, the content is specific and ordered in no linguistic terms. The situational syllabus organizes content focuses on real or imagined situation that reflects context when communication occurs. Students practice dialogues and memorize useful expressions to function in specific contexts, like a hotel or agency on with other restaurants, whatever. This approach use its situation the organized principle of learning teaching language basis of it use practical scenarios. Alexander 1976 defines a taxonomy of situation within the situational syllabus, the limbo situation in which the setting is less important than the language. The concrete situation where both context and language are crucial, and the mythical situation involving functional characters and places. I'm going to talk about the benefits. Benefits of this situational includes direct relationship between for a meaning in a specific context, facilitating concrete communication and allowing students to acquire relevant social and cultural information about the language. For example, first, in the mechanic shop, requesting a fluid of the tire pressure check. Can you check the oil and tire pressure? Second, housework, asking if someone has finished a task. For example, have you finished cleaning the kitchen? Thank you so much. I'm gonna talk my partner.
Now we continue watching the topical syllabus, which it is based on the structure of the central topics to be seen in classes with ramifications of subtopics. Just following a chronological order with a hierarchical approach where it is necessary to review basic topics and reinforce them and then continue with more complex ones, including their vocabulary, grammars, and functions. An example of this might be where an intermediate level course in English is reviewing a topic on body parts and anatomy. And then the subtopics we will be looking at in the terms of vocabulary are where the body parts are called, from the simplest to the most internal organs such as head, legs, eyes, mouth, a hand, and brain. It's like that. And in a second unit, we can look at more complex things such as a headache, stomach ache, healthy body, food effects, etc. And finally, to reinforce the normal situation that will be every day, we should practice the conversation activities doing feedback on our spoken topic. For another example, we will look at colors, which will be exactly the same. We learn from the primary colors to go through the secondary colors. Also, in more advanced topics, we can study the mixture and palette of colors with all dimensions to the colors like primary, like secondary, like mixed. And so, as we said before, we go from a simple topic to more complex one. Now, it's on to functional syllabus. As its name says, it's a functional as it focuses on the needs students have for learning something that will serve them in their daily lives. In the case of learning English, it will be more like the need to know how to speak fluently and naturally in a realistic setting, as well as questions or even ask for directions. Thus focusing on developing the skills to speak and listening to an English conversation in a real situation. Let's look at some examples. Obviously, when we are starting to speak in English, we need to know basic things like greeting or asking for something politely. So in this example, we see how in the first unit of the syllabus, how to start a conversation. Okay, so first we need vocabulary, such as hello, how are you, my name is, nice to meet you, good day, bless you, things like that. As for the structure, we should know the three basic forms of sentence. That is affirmative, negative, and interrogative, the same structure that we learn in the school in English. And ready with that, we can start And it is recommended that as a class activity, students can practice these simple sentences to start any conversation. Now, let's go with the next example, which is to ask for information. As we see, this doesn't follow a hierarchical order as the topical and as the topical again, because this is with the needs of the students. But the students, when they need to ask for information, then that is in the syllabus. Then we need vocabulary of questions such as what, when, where, how, why, how many, how much, etc. The appropriate structure is used, which is the interrogative, and likewise an activity to reinforce knowledge. And finally, for my part, we have the national syllabus. The syllabus aims to be more specific in what is being asked for, requested, leaving aside the grammatical rules, and focusing more on what students specifically need with a focus towards notion or ideas. Likewise, students better organize the notion of their ideas or concepts, being this case in real life situation where communication is fundamental. Some examples of this can be like if a student will need to talk about time and ideas. Then, what we'll see in the content of that unit? Well, we start by looking at the days of the week, of the month, and along with vocabulary prepositions such as in or on that are necessary. Activities can be implemented such as memorizing vocabulary words. In another unit, as you can see here, you are going to look at the quantity and measurements of things inside in the classroom, such as using vocabulary such as many, much, a little, some, any, etc. And obviously, accompanied by its interactive activities, where students not only interact with their environment, but also learn a new language through dynamics. The same happens with the topic of emotions and feelings, as you can see here. Here we have another examples of the national syllabus. Let's observe how the topics of possibilities, asking questions, and comparisons between things are more complex topics that compared to how we saw in the functional. This should be studied and analyzed in detail. Thank you.
What is skill-based syllabuses? It's the way we organize the course, focusing on the skills students require to communicate effectively in the language they're learning. These depend on the author's choice and can be arranged in chronological order. Normally, when we talk about skills in English, we refer to the four modes of language: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. However, here the term skills refers to more specific skills within each mode. For example, not only teaching reading, but focusing on specific reading skills, such as skimming to capture ideas, scanning to find details. In speaking, being able to give instructions, speak in public, ask for help. In listening, listening to specific information on the phone, taking notes in a restaurant. In writing, writing memos, research reports. Example 1, working with content prediction, paraphrasing, using connectors, recognizing main and secondary ideas, constructing questions. Example 2, inferring meaning, pronunciation of sounds, identification of tones and emotions in conversations, writing conclusions. The following is a proposed syllabus taken from an undergraduate thesis. Task-based syllabuses. In this syllabus, learning is task-based. It means students must solve problems or plan activities. Its main purpose is focused on using the needs and activities that students have in real life as experience in the learning process, providing motivation through immediacy and relevance. In this case, the activities that students must perform for non-didactic purposes outside the classroom have measurable outcomes, require the learner to apply higher thinking skills such as evaluation, selection, etc., are implemented in a way that provide as many experiences and feedback as possible. Example 1. Create a personal curriculum in which academic and professional information is provided so that students learn how to structure information. Example 2. Create a report document that it is required as a part of the content of a specific subject with the objective of applying the language in academic context. Mixed syllabuses. They occur when two or more types of syllabuses are mixed. The design is less rigid and more flexible, so it responds better to the needs of the students. Teachers need to be reflective, analytical, creative, open in this case to methods and ideas. The mixed syllabus allows to make learning and teaching more flexible and easier, providing a richer and more varied experience for students. Examples: situational, topical. Situations such as presentations at works, interviews, and job meetings are addressed, and each situation has a particular topic such as networking, contract negotiation, etc. Example 2, a lesson describing people and places where students learn the use of comparatives and superlatives. Structural elements referring to specific grammar are combined with situations of social interaction. Next, bibliographic references.